Whenever there's an argument between your heart and your mind, follow your heart. There are things that the heart can understand and feel that the mind cannot relate to. There are things that you feel, that you know in your heart of hearts, that's not logical, it's not practical, it's not realistic, but there's something in you that says, I can do this. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. People that are hungry are uncommon people. Are hungry, have a vision of themselves when they leave here, leaving a legacy and not liabilities.
How do you get to that next level? You must learn to dominate. You cannot compete. Domination, not competition. Anybody can do this, folks. Anybody can do this. This is not about a college degree. This is about massive amounts of action. Whatever you think you're worth, if you're not sure of your own value, your own goals, and what you want, the world will never reward you of what you want, your value, and your goals.
People that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. People that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry refuse to give up. I'm willing to make this happen. No excuse is acceptable. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I can do it. If anybody's ever done it at any point in time in history, then what's possible for one is possible for me, and I'm going to do it. It's my time. It's possible. It's necessary. It's me. It's hard. It's worth it. I don't know what you want to do. Seemed like yesterday when I was the new kid on the block. Now at 68, I'm the old timer. My mother, I remember the first home I bought her. This home she saw. She didn't know I had planned to get that home for her. I purchased the home and I said, Mama, I think I know the people who live there. You do? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I'm going to stop in and say hello. And I drove there and I opened the door. And she got out, and Mama at that time, around 76, she held my arm and we were walking toward the house. And we got to the door. And I couldn't hold it anymore. I reached in my pocket, I took the key out and I put it in the door. This is your home. Mama, I bought this for you. I pushed the door open. She stuck her head in the door. She said, anybody home? I said, no, Mama. Nobody's here. This is yours. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, with the help of God, you'll get it.
Hello, good evening all. Hello, good evening all. If you can hear me, please type in yes. If you can hear me, type in yes in the chat box because everybody is on mute. If you can hear me clearly, type in yes. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. And if you can see my screen also, type in yes. If you can hear me and see my screen also. Okay. Okay. So that means we're good to go. Thank you all for coming. It's weekly review or weekly outlook with thank you all for coming today. It's weekly review outlook for 29th of July 2019 with Great White FX. So without wasting much of your time, let us start off. So today, this week, let's see. As always, we start with let me see. Let's start with Forex Factory. Where is my Forex Factory? Okay, we always start with the. It's always a good idea to start with the um, fundamental outlook for the week. It will help you stay abreast. So if we're looking at this for Monday, Monday is almost clean. There's almost no fundamental report. So, but on Tuesday, we have Bank of Japan. This will carry some weight, and it's always tentative. Most times there's no date, there's no time for it. So you just need to be careful on Tuesday. But most times it's around midnight, from midnight to early morning Nigerian time. Then on Tuesday, we have 3 p.m. US high impact news. Let me see if there's any other major news. Okay, let me see. Oh, this is non-farm payroll week. This week is non-farm payroll. That's interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Starting non-farm payroll this week. So, is non-farm payroll this week. And on Friday, we have, on Wednesday, 31st, we have an FOMC. So, for those of you who don't know FOMC is the Federal Bank of Reserve. That's like the US Central Bank. Your rate statement. Someone is saying he can't hear me. Please, if you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly and see my screen clearly, I think. So the person who is saying he can't hear me, you might need to check your network. You might need to check your network. Thank you very much. So two very important news we have this week. FOMC. Let me see. Wow. Only FOMC. On Wednesday, we have FOMC. On Thursday, August 1st, we have a pound monetary policy statement that's coming in at 12 midday. And then by 12:30, Bank of England, the governor is going to speak. So let's find out where he's going to speak at. The press conference. Whenever there's a press conference, most times you get questions asked. So this week is high impact, most especially from Wednesday. Let me see. Is it Wednesday? Yes, from Wednesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday. What it means is this. Most times when all these high impact news are due to be released, you just need to be very careful. And again, it's end of month. You just need to be careful. Capital inflow at the end of the month. You just need to watch out for all those and just be aware of your trades for the week. So without wasting much of your time, let's get into our charts for the week. So as always, we start with the dollar index. We'll start with the dollar index. That's the main pair we always start with. So if we look at the dollar index from the weekly point of view, the dollar index from the weekly point of view closed bullish. If you can't hear me, log out, check your network. If you can't hear me, you may need to check your network. So if we look at this, the dollar index closed bullish on the weekly. And if you look at, it took out this high. And that high comes in at 97.80. So there is a possibility that if price stays above this 97.80, it may move higher. So that being said, I move down to my intraday chart. So looking at my intraday chart, So looking at my intraday chart, the 97.80 comes in here, and as well as this pricing trend line, as we can see. So if price stays above here, there is a potential it may rally into this zone. Let me switch back to my 4-hour chart so that I get the bigger picture of it. So most definitely, most probably, we may see price rally into here if this place holds as support. That's 97.80. 97.80. If it holds as support, then price will rally into this place. A move above 98.36 on the dollar index may send the dollar higher. May send the dollar higher towards this area. As we may see the dollar rally towards this area. That is if that zone, that's a zone I highlighted how gets taken out. So you may see if this zone gets taken out, we have this area here. As this area here. If this gets taken out, then you'll be looking at the dollar index rallying up towards this area. So that is it for the dollar index for now. Clearly, it has a slightly bullish bias. So you'll be looking at either this level or this support trend line to hold. Or on a bigger picture, you see these two broken resistance trend lines. Price has not tested them fully. So there is a potential that this level might break this trend line to come back to test this area. And if it finds support here, then the dollar index may move up straight. But if it takes off straight into this area and finds resistance, then we may see dollar weakness into FOMC and the non-farm payroll that's within the week. So the next pair we'll be looking at is gold. Looking at gold from the weekly point of view, gold closed bearish, but a small body candle. If we look at it from the daily point of view, it's rejecting from this area. So how do you trade that intraday? We'll go over to our gold chart. So this is the storyline now on gold. Let me see. There's no trend line. So on the 4-hour on gold, we have this falling trend line. We have this falling trend line on gold. Then we have this structure here, this support structure. That support structure comes in at 1405.75 to 1467. That's the first support structure. Then we have our resistance structure coming in at 1426.71. Then we have this resistance area here. That resistance area is at 1430.60. So you may see a possibility that price may try to rally up into this area. If it gets rejected, then it may drop into this area. And this area, like I said, is 1405.83 and 1400. If this area holds that support, then you may see a bounce. But if it does not hold that support, then the next level of gold comes in at 1393.60 to 1383.85. So that is it for gold. But if you ask me, the overall bias for gold is likely to the downside because it failed at this area. So we may see a bit of more downside on gold. So the next one we'll be looking at is the USDCAD. So let's get a picture of the USDCAD from the weekly point of view. So looking at the USDCAD from a weekly point of view, we could say this is a bullish close. And see, it's a bullish close, broke this falling trend line. So we go back to our daily point of view. Go back into our daily. Friday's candle close bullish, but price has this high here. The resistance high here at this point. That's at 99.53 to take care of. So how do we take care of this on intraday basis? Looking at it from an intraday basis, price is in a resistance area for now. And this area, 93.30 to 93.50. A close back below 93.30 will bring price down to this area. But a move back above 93.50, 99.50, that's 99.50 to 99.30. A move back, a move above this area, that is if price should do something like break, retest, and it's moving higher. That is it for this pair. That is if we get that scenario, then we have a resistance structure here. This is previously resistance that has been broken, and you see, since price broke it, price has not come back to retest it. So there's a possibility price may run up into this area for a retest. But if you get a close below 99.30, then you know that price is coming down to this area, that is 99.10 to 98.99. So this is currently in a resistance zone for now, in a resistance structure. Okay, this is support structure, and then this is pure support down here. So you just know the range. So if price jumps back below, because there's one thing with this kind of zone, price can use 99.30 as support to move higher. So you need to be careful around this area. So that is it for that pair. The next pair we'll be looking at is the EURUSD. Looking at the EURUSD, well, let's get to look from it from the weekly. Close very, very bearish on the weekly. Very bearish on the weekly, but excuse me. Let me make this. But this swing low here, this swing low, that's at 1.1107. Price didn't close below it. Price didn't close below it. So what does that mean? What it means is that we might see a move higher to test this trend line. There's this trend line on the daily. Let me move back here. The trend line on the daily. Let me get it clear. This point to this point. Respectively. Although the neckline for the head and shoulders pattern is from this point to this point. So these are possible variables. So for now, the EURUSD is sitting above support. For now, he's sitting above support. That's just the thing with the EURUSD. So if this area holds, that is 1128 to 1101, should this area hold, then price is going to move up towards the retest. If it clears this area, it will move higher. But should this support structure fail, then you're looking at price. Price, there is 1050. Price may do 1.1050 first before coming down to 1.00. So that is a possible outplay. But for now, price is sitting at support. And if you remember, the dollar index is retreating from after hitting a support, a resistance structure on the daily. So the next one we're looking at is the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD, yeah, so let's see how the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD from a daily point of view, a close bearish, you can see close bearish out of this zone here. But if you look way to your left, you have this swing low and this structure here. You can see, so that is where you have price just sitting above. That's where you have price sitting above. So we'll go down to our intraday setup. Looking at our intraday setup, you can see this is the zone where the pound dollar is. So for now, you need price to close back above 1.2397. A close back above 1.2397 will send price towards this area. Will send price towards this area and probably here. But if it decides to go lower, it has 1.2372 as first support level and 1.2346 as second support level. So that is it for the British pound. The British pound dollar, the pound as GBPUSD is slightly bearish, but it's currently sitting above support. So you might see a bounce, but you need to see a close above 1.2397. It has to hold for price to continue moving up. If you do not see that, you just need to be a bit careful taking your long position, because from experience, price can hit this level and drop further, as you can see here. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the EURGBP. Looking at the EURGBP, EURGBP closed a bit bullish, probably to retest this broken trend line. So let's see how it's looking like on the weekly. Well, this long lower week is not good, but this broken trend line points to maybe further drop on the EURGBP. But the storyline here is it may want to retest this broken trend line. So how do we take care of that intraday? Currently, it is at a resistance structure. So for this pair to continue his down move, I didn't draw. I don't think I put that trend line. Let me go to the TV so I can put that trend line clearly, so that I have it here. Okay. Okay. So looking at this, so price is currently, get this so we may see price try to run up in here. Price may try to test here. So this is what you should expect may happen. Knowing Euro GBP and how it likes to move, it will move above this area. It may move above this area. And once it has done that, for you to sell this pair, you need to see a good close back below 0.8983. You need to see a good close back below this level, 0.8983. Once you get a good close back below this level, then you know that price is going down. But if you don't get a close below that level, then you might most expect price to move a bit higher. That is it for this pair. So you need to get a close below 89.83. If not, it is going to test this place deeply. Might even test 90.16, 0.9016. May test this area. That's just one thing with Euro GBP. It has that trait. It can move beyond your expected area. So have that at the back of your mind. So the next pair we'll be looking at is the AUDUSD. Looking at the AUDUSD is, you see, straight down. So now he's sitting at a daily support structure. He's sitting at a daily support structure. Is sitting at a daily support structure. So what do? Let's get a view from it on the weekly. Get an idea of its weekly view. Wow, this is a very, very strong bearish candle. Most times, this kind of candle might pull back. So go back to our daily. And how do we take care of this on intraday? So if we look at this pair now, and see it's in support structure. So a move back above 0.6914 will bring price up to this level. And this level comes in at 69.42 as well, and 69.55. That's this structure. Then we have resistance slightly up here. So these are just your areas of interest on this pair. That's for AUDUSD. Is your area. If you get it close back above 69.14, because as you can see, you see this price broke below, tested it here, and you just need to see a good close back above here. Let me get rid of this. This looks more like a zone. This looks like one of my zones. I call it elephant footprint. This looks like an elephant footprint. Excuse me. Yep, this looks like an elephant footprint. This is an elephant footprint. So let's see. So now we have it. So you need to see it close back above 69.14. Price needs to go back above 69.14. Price needs to go back above it. So can you guys still hear me? Hello, can you guys still hear me? If you can hear me, please type in yes. Okay. Because I'm getting a little warning on my internet, so I just want to confirm that I'm still on the same page with everybody. So if we get a close above 69.14, then price may move back high. So that's it. Price is bearish, but the rate of the drop, as you can see, the rate of the drop, you might see a bit of okay, the rate of the drop, as this drop, points to the fact that there might be a bit of a correction very soon. Might see a bit of a correction of this pair very soon. So the next one I'll be looking at is the GBPCHF. So looking at the GBPCHF from a daily point of view, you can see that this trend line here, let's get the daily view. Like I said last week, that price failure to close above 1.2341 may cause price to drop a bit. So we saw a bit of a drop on price, and so that's what happened here. So now, but if you look at this major trend line has been broken to the top side. So we may see price run back to test it a bit. Price may drop back a bit before moving back. So for now, EURGBP is sitting above support. This is the support area. S1 is that first support 1.2297. Second support 1.2283. So that is it for the GBP, that's pound EHF. Then the next one we'll be looking at is the USDJPY. We're looking at the USDJPY. It has broken this trend line. You can see it's broken this trend line to the top side. But he's in a resistance zone, as you can see, this point and this point. That is where he is at the moment. So how do we take care of that intraday? On an intraday basis, this is what we have. As you can see, price is, you can see the way price is looking like. This is a resistance structure here. Resistance structure, and we have resistance, as you can see, all lined up to the top side. So basically for this pair, if it closes below 108.52, that's 108.52 on intraday, that's below here, then you know it is coming down lower to test this trend line. But as long as it stays above 108.52 and it has the intention of either testing here or moving higher. So that's it for the pair. But for now, the USDJPY has a bullish bias, but he is in a resistance structure. for now. That's just it. And Friday's close had a long upper week. So let's see how the closes within the week. Friday's close had a long upper week on the USD on the US pound yen. So anything most likely can happen on this pair. So we have a mini structure here. Have a mini structure. So this is just basically it on this pair. So that's just where it is. It may try to rally higher, but as long as if it stays below 108.98, it may try to do 109 before dropping down. So I just can't say for this pair for now. But he's sitting above. That's this previous high, and this area is sitting above it. So the next pair I'm looking at is the euro yen. Looking at the euro yen did a very, very massive bounce. Let's see how he's looking like on the weekly. As a long, this doji has a long lower wick, very, very long lower wick. It could be a bit of indecision, but the long lower wick points to the direction that they might be taking very, very soon. So we go to the daily. If we go to the daily on this pair, now this area is going to become support. As this area is going to become support, then I need to move this a bit higher towards here. So this is what we're looking at on this pair. So if it stays above 120.80, this might be his resistance. Or if it comes down, it may need to, as long as it doesn't close below 120.49, then there's a tendency that it may continue the up move. It has a higher tendency to continue the up move. That's it for this pair. It's be well filled out here. So that's it for this pair. So this place may act as support. If it stays above here, it may move towards this area. It move above this area, will bring it to this resistance and this area. So you just need to watch. It may break here, come in here, and move higher. So these are your levels of support structure on this pair. So the next pair I'll be looking at is the pound yen. Looking at the pound yen, closed a bit bearish on Friday. Okay. Closed a bit bearish, but there is a trend line here. There's a trend line here. And from this point to this point, price is sitting above it. You can see price is just stretching above it, as you can see here. So as long as price stays above this area, it has a tendency to still move higher. And this area, this is the levels of interest. So that's it. So if it stays above this trend line and this shaded area, it has a tendency to still move higher. So what you'll be watching for is a close above 134.78 to send it higher. That is for the GBP, GBPJPY. So the next pair I'll be looking at is the EURAUD. You can see EURAUD is back above this. So this, I commented on this last week. So you see this formation now, it seems to be moving back up. So how do we play this on an intraday basis? So when we look at it on an intraday basis, this is just the setup. It has done this move very, very fast. It's a very fast move. So there is a potential that if it doesn't touch this top area, there's a potential that if it doesn't touch this top area, then you may see it come down to this area to find support, or slightly lower to this area here to find support. And if it holds that support, then price might most likely move back up. Price might most likely move back up on this pair. I think there is a trend line on this pair. I move it from there to here. Well, price has broken it. So we may see a possible retest of this trend line. If it holds, then price may move back up. That's just the view for now. This man is in a little bit of a bullish bias. If it's going to drop, so since if you notice it's an up move, you'll be looking for dips. That's if it drops, find support, then you look to a position to buy, to enter long on the pair. The next one we'll be looking at is the GBPAUD. Looking at the GBPAUD, it's looking a bit weak, long wicks to the top side. So, and it has this support. So as long as it stays above 78.74, 1.7874, the GBPAUD may continue not. As long as it stays above the 1.78, okay. Refining it on my 4-hour, this is the support area here. That's just the support area. Let me so that's it. That's just it. So it may drop here. If it finds support, it may move higher. If it goes below 78.55, it may find support here and move back up. Then it has another area of support coming in between this area. So that's it for this pair. It may drop, find support, and move higher as long as it stays above 78.55. So these are the levels you just need to watch and be aware. The next pair I'm looking at is the USDCHF. So, well, USDCHF has broken out of this zone here. That is at 1.3143. This long upper wick may hint on a drop to test this area. If this area should hold that support because it was prior resistance, the break above, so we have a potential bar setup here, break and retest. If it should break and retest and it holds that support, then you may see the USD CAD move higher. So that's just what might most likely happen here. And that area comes in at 1.3143. So just somewhere here. Let me get this verse. Yes, somewhere here. So you're looking at the zone. So this is the major zone here. 13161, 131,444. So you may see price dip into here, then move up either to this high or this level. Whereas as long as price is above 3144, it may continue the bullish move. So that's about it for tonight. And I will be posting the link for the video for those who didn't attend or those who might want to rewatch and get a better view on price. So I want to thank you all for coming and to wish you all a beautiful trading day ahead. If you have any questions, don't forget, this is my Telegram handle. You can reach out to me at GreatWhiteFX and I'll be glad to answer any of your questions. Thank you all once again for coming.